Imagine a world without electric light, without illuminated cities, without security. Now, imagine yourself 30,000 years in the past, surrounded by predators and complete darkness. What would you do? How did our ancestors survive the endless nights of prehistory? The answer might surprise you. In prehistoric times, night was a constant challenge. Without the technology we enjoy today, our ancestors needed to develop incredible skills to adapt to the darkness. From primitive lighting techniques to nocturnal activities that shaped our evolution, nightlife back then was a mixture of danger, creativity, and survival. And today, we're going to explore this fascinating world. The night sky wasn't just a blanket of darkness. It was both a threat and an opportunity. While predators lurked in the shadows, our resourceful ancestors found ways to not only survive, but thrive when the sun disappeared beyond the horizon. Their ingenuity in facing these challenges helped forge the path of human evolution that led directly to us. Think about it. No flashlights, no street lamps, not even a box of matches. Just the raw elements of nature and human wit pitted against the absolute darkness that descended every single evening. The solutions they developed were nothing short of remarkable, and many of them influenced human behavior for thousands of years to come. If you love history and want to unravel the mysteries of the great empires, like this video, subscribe to the Dawn of Humankind channel and don't miss a single episode. Join us as we journey back to a time when humanity's relationship with darkness was fundamentally different. A relationship that tested our limits and ultimately helped shape who we are today. Prehistoric humans didn't have flashlights, but they possessed something equally powerful: their own bodies. While we modern humans might fumble around in the dark, our ancestors developed remarkable adaptations that allowed them to navigate the night world with surprising effectiveness. Studies suggest that our ancestors evolved a more acute night vision, similar to certain animals that thrive in darkness. Their eyes would dilate more efficiently, capturing whatever faint light was available from the moon and stars. But this adaptation went beyond just seeing better. Their entire nervous system became attuned to the night. Hearing and smell became crucial survival tools in complete darkness. The snap of a twig could alert them to an approaching predator, while the faintest scent carried on a night breeze might reveal prey hiding nearby. These heightened senses weren't just biological adaptations. They represented a complete shift in how humans experienced and interacted with their environment after sundown. And here's something truly fascinating. Did you know that some prehistoric cave paintings were created by torchlight? Deep within caves like Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain, our ancestors ventured hundreds of feet into absolute darkness to create their masterpieces. Archaeologists have found the remains of torch marks on the ceilings and charcoal residue on the floors, revealing that these incredible works of art were created in environments of complete darkness, illuminated only by the flickering light of primitive torches. Just imagine the scene: a small group of early humans venturing deep into the earth with handmade torches, their shadows dancing on ancient walls as they carefully applied pigments to create images of the animals that dominated their world. These weren't simply artistic endeavors, they were acts of extraordinary courage and spiritual significance, demonstrating not just the skill and creativity of our ancestors, but their determination to master the darkness that surrounded them each night. This relationship with darkness wasn't something our ancestors feared, it was something they embraced and ultimately conquered through adaptations both physical and cultural. The night became not just a time of danger, but a realm of possibility where human ingenuity truly began to shine. But what exactly did our ancestors do when darkness fell? Hunting, of course. While we might think of prehistoric humans as primarily daytime hunters, evidence suggests they were remarkably adept at nighttime hunting as well. Many animals were more active after sunset, and our clever ancestors learned to use this to their advantage. Imagine a small group of hunters moving silently through the moonlit landscape, tracking prey that would be nearly impossible to approach during daylight hours. The cover of darkness allowed them to get closer to animals like deer and elk, whose night vision, while good, couldn't match the combined intelligence and tools of human hunters working together. Some prehistoric tribes even developed specialized hunting techniques specifically for nighttime, using the sounds of animals to locate them when visibility was poor. Archaeological evidence from sites dating back 20,000 years shows that nocturnal hunting wasn't just occasional, it was a regular, planned activity. Bones found at campsites reveal that certain types of nocturnal prey were consistently part of the prehistoric diet. Our ancestors weren't just surviving the night, they were actively exploiting it. But the night wasn't only for hunting. Perhaps even more importantly, it was a time for strengthening community bonds. As darkness fell and danger increased, prehistoric humans gathered close around the protective glow of their fires. This nightly congregation became the center of social life and cultural development. Around these flickering flames, the very foundations of human society were laid. Elders shared vital knowledge through stories that entertained while they educated. These oral traditions weren't just entertainment, they were the prehistoric equivalent of schools, libraries, and religious institutions all rolled into one. The firelight also set the stage for rituals that marked important transitions in life. Coming-of-age ceremonies, pre-hunt gatherings to ensure success, celebrations of births, and memorials for those who had passed. These shared experiences created a sense of identity and belonging that helped small bands of humans survive in a world filled with dangers. A fascinating discovery at a prehistoric site in France revealed what appears to be a dedicated nighttime gathering space, with evidence of repeated use over hundreds of generations. The arrangement of stones shows where people sat, always positioned to face both the fire and each other, a physical reminder that conversation and connection were just as important to our ancestors as they are to us today. In many ways, these nighttime gatherings around the fire shaped us as a species. The stories shared, the bonds formed, and the traditions established during these nocturnal hours echo through time and remain embedded in human culture to this day. When we gather around a campfire today and feel that inexplicable comfort and connection, we're experiencing the same primal response that helped our ancestors not just survive, but thrive in the prehistoric night. And how did our ancestors illuminate the darkness? The campfire was humanity's greatest invention. More than just a source of light, it created a safe zone that kept predators at bay and provided vital warmth for the group during cold nights. The discovery and mastery of fire marked a pivotal moment in human history, literally and figuratively illuminating our path forward as a species. Archaeological evidence suggests humans have been controlling fire for at least 400,000 years, with some evidence pointing to even earlier use. This relationship with fire fundamentally changed our evolutionary trajectory. The light and heat from these carefully maintained flames extended the day, created new possibilities for social interaction, and literally pushed back the boundaries of darkness. But their ingenuity didn't stop at the communal fire. Our ancestors created portable lighting solutions that allowed them to extend their reach into the night. Torches crafted from carefully selected wood, bound with plant fibers, and tipped with natural resins like pine pitch or tree sap, became handheld suns. These ingenious devices burned slowly and steadily, providing reliable illumination for exploring cave systems or night hunting expeditions. Recent experimental archaeology has revealed just how sophisticated these early lighting technologies were. Researchers recreating prehistoric torches discovered that the best designs could burn for nearly an hour, casting light over a 20-foot radius. Far from crude sticks set aflame, these were carefully engineered tools designed with specific purposes in mind. In some regions, our ancestors created stone lamps carved from sandstone or limestone. These shallow bowls would hold animal fat, often from seals or bears, with twisted plant fibers serving as wicks. These primitive lamps have been found deep within cave systems, sometimes hundreds of feet from any natural light source, evidence of our ancestors' determination to push beyond the boundaries of darkness. Perhaps most remarkable was the discovery of a 40,000-year-old lamp found in a cave in Spain, still containing residue of the animal fat that once fueled it. Nearby, researchers found the remains of pigments used in cave paintings, suggesting this lamp once illuminated an ancient artist at work. This primitive lighting technology was more than convenient. It was transformative. It allowed our ancestors to extend their activities beyond daylight hours, explore previously inaccessible spaces, and ultimately gain greater control over their environment. The ability to create light in darkness represented one of humanity's first major steps toward mastering the natural world. So did you know that prehistoric humans painted caves by torchlight? If you're enjoying this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to the Dawn of Humankind channel for more incredible stories. And tell us in the comments, do you think you could survive a night in prehistoric times? Would you be brave enough to venture into a pitch-black cave with nothing but a handmade torch to light your way? Let us know what prehistoric night survival skills you think you'd master first. The night was more than just a time for practical activities. It was a realm of profound spirituality for our prehistoric ancestors. As daylight faded and darkness enveloped their world, many believed they stood closer to the boundary between the physical and spiritual realms. This transition from day to night became sacred time, filled with meaning and mystical significance. Many rituals were conducted beneath the moon's silvery light, which was revered as a powerful mystical force. Archaeological evidence from sites around the world reveals circular arrangements of stones and post holes that align precisely with lunar cycles, suggesting our ancestors tracked and celebrated the moon's phases with ceremonial gatherings. These ancient observatories, dating back more than 12,000 years, demonstrate how deeply the night sky was woven into prehistoric spiritual life. The darkness itself was believed to be inhabited by spirits, both benevolent guardians and dangerous entities that could harm the tribe. Cave paintings often depict shamanic figures that appear to be communicating with these spiritual forces, their bodies adorned with animal features that might have helped them bridge the gap between worlds during nighttime ceremonies. At archaeological sites in what is now France and Germany, researchers have discovered ceremonial pits containing burned offerings and ritual objects that show evidence of nighttime use. The positioning of these items suggests they were part of complex rituals performed during specific phases of the moon, possibly to ensure protection for the community or success in upcoming hunts. One particularly fascinating discovery was made in a cave in southwestern Europe, where footprints preserved in clay show a circular pattern around what appears to have been a central fire pit. These footprints, belonging to about 15 individuals, including children, suggest a nighttime dance ritual performed thousands of years before written history began. The dancers moved in synchronized patterns that mimicked the movement of celestial bodies, creating a physical connection between their community and the night sky above. These nocturnal rituals served practical purposes as well as spiritual ones. By gathering the tribe together to perform synchronized activities, leaders reinforced social bonds and community identity. The shared experience of confronting the mysteries of darkness through ritual created powerful psychological effects that helped prehistoric humans manage the very real dangers of the night. The timing of these ceremonies was not random. Evidence suggests many were conducted during specific lunar phases or celestial events. A site in ancient Britain shows a structure precisely aligned to capture moonlight during the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. This alignment reveals how our ancestors saw the darkest night, not as something to fear, but as a pivotal moment to be celebrated and honored through ritual. For prehistoric humans, the night wasn't simply a time of danger to be endured. It was a sacred period when the veil between worlds thinned, allowing them to connect with forces beyond their understanding. Through these nighttime ceremonies, they sought to influence these forces, ensuring protection for their tribe and success in their hunts when daylight returned. The moon was far more than just a source of light for our prehistoric ancestors. It was their most reliable guide through the darkness of time. Unlike the seemingly random patterns of weather or seasonal shifts, the moon's cycle was predictable, consistent, and visible to all. This celestial timekeeper became humanity's first calendar, shaping how our ancestors understood and navigated their world. Many prehistoric tribes meticulously tracked lunar phases to mark the passage of time. Archaeological evidence from sites across Europe, Africa, and Asia reveals bone fragments and cave walls etched with markings that precisely correspond to lunar cycles. One remarkable artifact discovered in a cave in France, a 30,000-year-old eagle bone, contains notches that perfectly match the 29.5-day lunar month. This wasn't just idle scratching, it was sophisticated timekeeping by people intimately connected to the rhythms of the night sky. But the moon did more than just count days. It became a practical planning tool that helped coordinate communal activities essential for survival. Hunting expeditions were often scheduled around specific lunar phases, with the full moon providing maximum visibility for nighttime hunts. Archaeological evidence shows that many prehistoric settlements show increased hunting activity during full moon periods, with bone remains clustered around these times. The moon also helped our ancestors predict environmental changes. They noticed correlations between lunar phases and animal behavior, tidal patterns, and even subtle weather shifts. This lunar wisdom was passed down through generations, becoming embedded in cultural practices that persisted for thousands of years. Some indigenous societies living traditional lifestyles today still plant crops and harvest according to lunar phases, preserving knowledge that stretches back to prehistory. Perhaps most fascinating is how the full moon, in particular, became a central focus of prehistoric life. This wasn't mere superstition, it was practical adaptation. The full moon provided up to 10 times more light than a quarter moon, turning the landscape into a silver-washed hunting ground where humans could track and pursue prey with significantly improved visibility. Evidence from prehistoric campsites shows that bones from successful hunts often cluster around periods that would have coincided with the full moon. The full moon also became the preferred time for important ceremonies and gatherings. Stone circles and megalithic structures around the world were carefully designed to align with lunar events. At Stonehenge, for instance, certain stones frame the rising of the moon during significant lunar standstills that occur only every 18.5 years. This suggests our ancestors not only tracked monthly lunar cycles, but understood complex patterns that took decades to complete. In caves throughout Europe and Australia, ancient handprints and artwork cluster in chambers where moonlight would penetrate during specific lunar events. These weren't random choices of location. They represent deliberate decisions to connect sacred artistic expressions with the moon's light at particular times. For prehistoric humans, the moon wasn't just something to look at, it was something to live by. Its predictable rhythm provided structure in an unpredictable world. Its light offered opportunity in the darkness, and its cycle connected human activities to the greater patterns of the natural world. In many ways, our ancestors' relationship with the moon represented one of humanity's first steps toward understanding our place in the cosmos. Nightlife in prehistory was undoubtedly a challenge, but also a remarkable opportunity. Our ancestors didn't merely survive the darkness, They mastered it through creativity, cooperation, and adaptation. What began as a daily threat transformed into a vital aspect of their existence, shaping human evolution in ways that echo through our biology and culture even today. From the flickering flames of the first campfires to the intricate lunar calendars etched on bone, our prehistoric ancestors created a relationship with the night that was sophisticated and nuanced. They didn't have our technology, but they possessed something equally valuable, an intimate understanding of the natural world and their place within it. The darkness that might have defeated them instead became their ally, offering opportunities for hunting, social bonding, and spiritual connection. Consider how these adaptations have shaped us. Our capacity for storytelling, our instinctive comfort around flames, our natural tendency to gather when darkness falls. These behaviors were forged during hundreds of thousands of nights spent in the prehistoric darkness. In many ways, we carry the night adaptations of our ancestors within us, though we rarely pause to consider their origin. What about you? What do you think you would do if you had to survive a night in prehistoric times? Would you be the one tending the fire, keeping the protective flames alive? Perhaps you'd be the storyteller, preserving knowledge and entertaining the tribe through the long hours of darkness. Or maybe you'd be the observer, tracking the moon's phases and helping your community anticipate the changes in seasons. It's easy to take our mastery of darkness for granted in a world where light is available at the flick of a switch. But understanding how our ancestors transformed this fundamental challenge into an opportunity for growth reminds us of the remarkable adaptability of the human spirit. In facing their night, they paved the way for our day. If you enjoyed this journey back to the prehistoric night, please hit the like button and share this video with friends who appreciate how our distant past shapes our present. Subscribe to the Dawn of Humankind channel to follow more content about prehistory and the remarkable story of human evolution. Join our growing community of history enthusiasts exploring the roots of humanity, and let us know in the comments, which aspect of prehistoric nightlife fascinated you the most? Was it their physical adaptations, their nocturnal hunting techniques, or perhaps their spiritual connection to the moon and stars? Your thoughts and questions might inspire our next deep dive into the fascinating world of our ancestors. Until next time, remember that the darkness that challenged our ancestors also helped make us who we are today. See you in our next prehistoric adventure.